Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another father and daughter talk. And our today's topic is going to be the decisions we make when we are lonely.
Yep.
You like that topic?
It's kind of depressing, but we can get through it.
So we're going to try to keep it a little bit upbeat for you. So the time in my life I consider when I was like lonely, like all the way lonely, was prison. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, it was prison. I can remember going into the correctional facility at the age of 18 and, going into that feeling, I was feeling alive, but I noticed like at times when the lights go off, I'm alone, I'm isolated, that I felt the energy of, I was by myself. I was by myself. I feel like that, people gave up on me, things like that. Because when you by yourself and the thoughts go in your head, you can't pull nothing positive.
Your mind is just doing its thing.
Yeah, it's doing what it's going to do. And so I developed this character off that. Like, that character was like, I'm in prison. I'm
feeling
surviving.
like a victim.
Yeah, I'm surviving. Yeah, and I'm feeling like a victim because I feel like that I'm not getting treated well by family members and things like that. And so that developed that character where when I came up out that cage, I was like this person that everybody needed to know that I wasn't to be messed with, and I was angry. I feel like in that type of setting that I had to be angry. But then I also figured out there's times at night when I did have them thoughts. Whereas also I was saying to myself like, well, you don't always have to like think like that. Like, is that really you or what you want to be? So when I started getting involved in like school, because they put you in school when you're inside of there, and that was something positive because I really wanted to get my GED. Like I wanted to get my GED. So I realized even though when I laid down at night and I may have felt lonely, there were still certain accomplishments that I wanted to accomplish at the time. And then I realized, I said, okay, I was digging into that creative side of myself, because when I was out there I was unconscious, and now I'm a little bit more conscious because I'm not smoking and drinking and things like that. And so I started to be a little bit more creative and gain a little bit more confidence by going to school, by working out, by just actually reading books, because that was one of the big things. The older people up in there, the generation, they always used to hand you a book, which was a good thing for me. So how you feel about that?
I think with loneliness, I'm still trying to figure out the distinction between separation, isolation, and loneliness. Because when you're going through life with God and you surrender your life to Him, sometimes you might be caught up in those negative thoughts or think like, damn, I'm by myself, or damn, I gotta, do this all over again. And the life that you created or you thought was gonna be did not turn out the way that you planned. And when those expectations are not met, and when you find yourself behind closed doors when it's time to go to sleep, you sleeping by yourself. When when you grocery shopping or putting your trash out, you by yourself as a woman. I know that it hits different for me because I don't have any older siblings. I'm the oldest, but it's spread out. My sister is 12 years apart from me. My little brother Michael is 22 years apart, and then my little brother Caden is 30 years apart. So me having to be the oldest, I bear the weight. I bear the struggles with that. So I would say that the only thing that I worry about with my loneliness is making sure that I'm not going towards my default setting or going towards distractions. Because I notice a lot of us, when we get lonely, we like to be outside more. We like to party more. We want to travel more. And it's okay to do those things. But when you find yourself running from something or doing everything to not deal with that internal void of loneliness, that's when you got to start looking more internally and doing the work by doing things that help fill you up in that loneliness, right? So things I do is like guided meditation, or I practice Tai Chi, or I journal, or I start working on projects that I've always been passionate about. So I think that sometimes you got to sometimes look at loneliness through a different lens. And I think that's what's helped me. It's like, that doesn't mean I don't feel alone, that I don't have times when I'm not alone. But I think the way that I internalize it, the way that I deal with it, is what makes it, what helps me through those phases. Because I go through them, they're just phases. So that's how I look at loneliness, is just finding out what's going on with that emotion? Where am I at in life? What season is this for me? Because just because you're alone doesn't mean that you're like lonely. Sometimes you just go through a phase in life where you have to be separated. You have to be isolated for everyone to get to that next version of yourself. So being able to know what season you in within that and what that season is for is really what I focus on. And that kind of helps propel me even though I go through negative thoughts too.
Yeah, and it's a process. And we really want to know what you everyday people out there think about this.
Yeah.
We need some feedback. We want to have this conversation because I feel like this. Even today, we all go through things. And like I said, when everyone's feeling happy and feeling good, you don't feel that loneliness. But when things are not going so well, we start to identify everything that's not right. And our thought process kind of sometimes overthink and dominate the positive things in life that we can identify and focus on instead of focusing on the negative things that's not going right. So that concept, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, is about the decisions you make after your thought process. So
and just to not to cut you off there, but check on your loved ones. Because in loneliness, when people in dark times, that's when the substance abuse happens. That's when the thoughts start to happen. That's when suicide rates start to happen. So you really got to, I just want to add that, Dad, because people don't know. A lot of people, in them lonely moments, is when people choose to make some decisions that end up sometimes taking their life.
So that's what I say, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, as you can see, me and my dad can go a long time with this conversation because we both deal with it in our own way, especially with him being gone from my life for 26 years and I've been gone from his life. So we have these heart-to-heart conversations and we hope that it empowers you guys to do the same. Please stay tuned. We drop a new episode every Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Mental Health in the Hood. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyday people. Mental Health in the Hood.